Hopefully everything is intact. So, you guys can all see me in that picture. I should be red, orange, and yellow. Everything around me is blue and black. The red, orange, and yellow means, sorry fellas, I'm the hottest thing in the camera. So, with that said, we're literally looking for the blue and black spots to move on their own. The updated camera, because I thought that the software problem was a hardware problem, so I upgraded it anyway. It's going to move dots around to the hottest and coldest spots in the area. What we're going to try to do tonight, whoever has this camera, they're going to try to keep a person in view at all times. Why? Because we want the skin temperature to actually act as a base. So if you take me out of the camera, the red, orange, and yellow is going to go somewhere else. So we want to try to keep the warmest thing out here. Even though it is pretty warm, we should still be between 97 and 99 degrees. If you guys are over that, we have other issues we need to talk about. So I think, Pat, this one's going to go to you, man. So you're going to hold it just like that. Keep the camera on the right. There is a red square on there. That means it's recording. So in the event it turns to a circle or something crazy happens with the phone, let me know. I'll have to splice your video together. But again, need to let me know. So I'll be following up with you constantly to make sure things are up and running.
Into my earshot.
She's at
What? Pretty hot.
102.
That's what it is?
So let's get into spirit boxes. Because I do have 3 of them. I want to make sure every group has one. Well, actually I'm going to have to separate that a little bit, I think. Nope, I think I'm good. So normally when I'm doing all the chit chatter, guys, again, I'm the writer. You're all characters to me so far. So that's how I figure out who's going to get what device. So spirit boxes, what are they and what do they actually do? They actually sweep through FM radio stations at a very quick rate, and they give us the white noise, right? So white noise is where Zach Bagans tells you he heard something in the middle of it, and then he puts it up on the screen trying to convince you of the same thing. We're going to be doing that in real time, only mine are set up a little bit different. This one in particular, because your ears aren't trained to listen to this thing for 2 hours at a time, I have it slowed down on purpose. To find disembodied voices is a very rare thing. That's what they give you on TV. Keep in mind, those guys have spent at least a week in one location trying to find that one disembodied voice. I have the radio chatter coming through on purpose. The radio DJs, the song lyrics, the commercials, all that stuff, you're going to hear little tidbits of it. So the cool thing about it is this is actually going to record all of that. No background noise, so it's not going to hear any of us, and it's going to keep at an even level. So even though this is on mute right now, it's still recording at a nice even level for you guys tomorrow morning. I will give about 15 to 20 different markers of things that I found through a spot check. So again, this is going to be 2 hours of recording this stuff. I'm just going to randomly spot check it. The reason why I give you things that are not relevant is to help you learn how to listen to this thing. So again, if it is relevant, I will always tell you why it's relevant to the location of where we are, or the person I'm talking about, or even one of us, and a backlink to where I got my information. So if Elijah tells you how old she was when she got married, I will give you the link from Botanica.org that said so. It's not because I said so, it's because they said so. So, Katie, was it?
Yep.
You have one button to worry about.
Okay.
You have a volume button. It's a wheel, okay? So you're going to control the volume on that one.
Okay.
I have more, no worries.
I'm excited.
So the next one usually requires 2 people, and the reason why I gave that one to Katie is because you and Greg are going to be working together, even though he's going to have a separate tool as well. So you have to, the reason why I say 2 people is because it doesn't record. You 2 are going to verify each other, the things that you actually hear in real time.
Okay.
So I will constantly follow up with you guys to see where we're at with things.
Okay.
And of course, I'm going to go over questioning and all of that kind of thing once we get rolling. You also have one button. It's at the side of the ball speaker, right-hand side. You hold it up gently to get some volume.
Not drop it.
And then you hold it down, obviously, when I'm talking to the group as a
Take
whole.
me.
So I'll always give you cues for spirit boxes up and down. Right now, I want you to kind of play with it for a minute or 2. Just get used to where the button is.
Hovers. Thought you were hovering.
The last one we're going to be using is actually going to give us words in the center of the screen from time to time. So right now it just says not, it's just live. So we are going to be handing this one out, but it does save all of those words to a list. So last night they had about 68 terms. It's about average for a 2-hour time frame. I'm going to clear them out to start us off fresh. Here's what I'm going to tell you about the list. 80% of this, we're all adults here, it's bullshit. It doesn't mean anything. Okay, I'm just going to put it out there. Oh, we have the name Elizabeth already, so that's interesting. Names, when they pop up, names and numbers usually don't lie about anything. So those are things I deep dive into if I don't know have a direct relation right away. So that's kind of like how I work with that. But it's the other 20%, again, where I'm going to give you all of the details on why it's relevant and then the backlink as to why. Most of the time, I'm going to say that's part of the 80%. That's part of the 80%. So, I'm trying to remember names.
That's her name.
Elizabeth Ann is my name, but I go by Ann.
Oh, that's crazy.
Elizabeth
Oh, you totally get that one.
Did I choose that one correctly? I think so. That's a win for Nick. Where's the other device? Yes, the whole bag is full. Alright, so, movie buffs, this is the neuralizer from Men in Black. None of you are going to remember a damn thing when we're done.
Nice.
Lasers.
Whoa.
Why do we use lasers? Because you can see the pen in my hand, you can see the dots on the ground. You can't see the lasers till something passes through it. So the cool thing is we want to keep them on the ground. We're going to have somebody be taking pictures through the lasers, not down at the ground. I'll demonstrate once we get it going, but we use a secondary one as well. This one gives us red squares. Why do I want red squares and green dots? And we don't use them in tandem this way, we want them side by side. In the event we capture picture or video here, I can put it in 3D software and get a full 3D view of what we caught, along with measurements of what that apparition actually looks like. So, yeah, very interesting stuff. I'm glad you said so, because these are going to you, sir. So, both lasers go to you, again, down on the ground,
damn.
maybe 3 to 5 feet out in front of you. So, with that said, Bernie, you're going to be taking pictures.
Okay.
Point one of your lasers down for me. There you go. Gotta be careful with it. You will set off car alarms. They are that strong. You're gonna be taking pictures through them. So the camera stays, well, you're shorter. It should actually be. Did I say that out loud? I did.
That's okay.
So again,
Sure.
through
Real
them,
life.
not down. Hundreds and hundreds of pictures. The more the better. So
Okay, and where's the...
big button is to shoot the picture. If it goes off, because you'll see a black screen, it's the button right next to it.
Okay.
Super easy. So you're going to be kind of going back and forth.
So
between-
just take them even if I don't see anything.
Correct. So I will be honest, pictures with lasers aren't an in-the-moment type activity. So these are things, this is the only part of your data that I'm going to go through every single piece of it, because there might be some of them I have to lighten up so I can find what's going on there. I will show you evidence of things I've caught with those lasers at our second stop. So again, it's not in the moment like, oh my God, I just saw a shadow, hurry up and take a picture. Guess what? It's already gone.
Yeah.
So again, it's an in the moment. That's why I say hundreds and hundreds of pictures. I don't care if it's 1,000 pictures.
Just keep, yeah,
Keep taking them.
keep clicking.
There you
Just
go.
keep clicking. Just keep clicking.
So there you go.
Yeah, I'm a
And you guys
button
tell I'm a
pusher.
movie buff. I'm going to recite movie lines all night long, just so you guys know. EMF meters are an absolute must. So I'm guessing mom. So let me explain how these actually work. Now, first off, it measures.
With her. She understands.
It's actually super easy. All you got to do is let me know when the lights go nuts. If it goes into a rhythm or a pattern, it's usually from something man-made, like a cell phone's too close or wiring. If it goes, you know, if you could tap your foot
Just
to it,
plain green. That's
it's natural EMFs. It's just telling you it's on. I want to know when it goes nuts, and I'm still going to try to debunk what's going on around this.
okay.
I'm losing names again.
Rachel.
Rachel, you're my multitasker.
Oh.
You got
I got
this.
this.
So, your device actually has 3 different functions. The reason why I'm pairing this up with you is because he has the thermal imaging camera. First thing that you have to look at is the big tall numbers. It has the exact same thing that Jennifer's device has. Anything above 2.5 is going to be excitable. The bottom number on your screen, which is right here, is ambient temperature. He finds a cold spot, we can find out where it's coming from and debunk it or prove it right away. The last thing that it has is called a REM pod. So a REM pod actually detects motion. If something gets close to the antenna, it's gonna go off. So,
Damn.
yeah. So we don't use it all the time. It's kind of like in tandem with the spirit boxes. I'll give spirit boxes and REM pod cues up. Right now, keep the little flap open, keep the antenna in. I'm going to show you more about that at the first location.
Okay.
All you got to do right now is focus on the big numbers. You think I forgot about you?
No,
If it goes above
it's
2,
not something you're just going to
it's
give me the
excitable?
best
I
of
don't
both.
know.
It's the brand new device. So you want a different kind of
lost.
lighting. So we're going to go with different kind of lighting. I can get it out of there.
Ooh.
Fancy. Now, this is an interesting device. So, Let me demonstrate first. You guys should not be able to see me in that camera. If you can, it's going to be pretty dark in there. All right, I know it's a small screen. Squint if you have to. So let's turn on some lights. We're working with full spectrum lighting. Notice you can't see that light with your own eyes. So again, I should be in a purple, pinkish hue kind of thing. So we have short range down here. This is really the only one you're going to mess with back and forth. If somebody's too close, I'm going to bleach out if I'm too close. So that's when you shut it off. So there's a little red button right next to the camera. We are going to record in 2 different areas. So actually, I'm probably going to go 3 different areas tonight because I want footage of one of the spots I haven't gotten any footage from yet. The bottom switch, just so you know what it does give us night vision. I don't care about night vision. Night vision just raises more attention from the other tour guides that already don't like me. Yeah. So we're going to keep on the lights that they can't see. We're going to be able to watch this tomorrow morning. So, are you right or left-handed? Right. Perfect.
I've
I already
already
said it
broke
that
the
way.
camera.
Yeah.
The button right next
Can I
to the
put
big
this in your
one.
pocket?
Yeah.
All right.
You want to put? Can we quickly like run over that car right there and put the purses in there?
Go for it.
Okay.
Yeah, that
You got
might
the
be
keys?
better.
Your car?
What it is? In ours?
She wants to put it in your car.
Okay.
Greg's
Yeah.
gonna do it real
The
quick.
red button does the zoom thing.
Yeah.
No.
She's got the keys. Hold on.
Baby.
This is your
Or she can just unlock it. She can just do it from the switch. Or the...
So it's
Since it's lined up with the camera lens.
but that's what you told me to push. if
No,
somebody
it's
gets
the
too close.
little black SUV thing.
And is this recording now?
That
or
is.
not?
It's
Okay.
not recording now, but that is the record button is right
Okay.
here.
All right.
All right. I need your assistance too, because I want to make sure I do this right. So is this the button
Yep.
down here?
Mhm.
And where do I turn it down and all that? How does that work?
Okay.
Because I
so
can't see a lot right now.
That's okay.
All right.
You're literally gonna just gently hold it up.
98 degrees.
And then, yeah, it's a gentle hold. It's not a push into the cylinder. Just slide it up and hold it there. So when you want the volume down, you have long nails. That's probably why it's perfect fine.
Oh no, I got it.
There you go.
Okay.
Perfect.
All right, cool. Thank
We'll
you.
wait for them to return. Look for funny lights.
I don't even need my reading glasses.
Nope. So the reason why I usually give that to a spirit box is because you guys are going to need to know when to stop and ask questions instead of just randomly waiting kind of thing. So that way you can kind of have an indicator. All right, Greg's back. So let's talk about the places that I told you guys to meet me up at, which was 251 East Bay Street. So 251 East Bay Street used to be called Big John's Tavern. It was named after Big John Kennedy. Not Kennedy, Kennedy, like John Candy with an extra A. He was a football player for the 1947 New York Giants. Now, this was his bar. He used to sit in the back of the bar, and he would tell the bartender if the cadets coming over from the Citadel, if they were old enough to drink or not. One night, 2 guys come in, they're not old enough. John has a bartender throw them out. They leave pretty mad. They come back the next night, and they try to steal the cash register from the front of the bar. Big John sees what's going on. He starts pounding these guys into the floor. He's pretty mad. A couple of shots go off. John gets hit in the neck. The bullet lands in the wall. He gets up. He goes back to the bar. He tells the bartender, by the way, he's the one who got shot, by the way. He gets up and tells the bartender to get him another beer and get the guys on the floor an ambulance. So, what's haunting the place is the bullet hole. It's allegedly still here. So, people that sit in the front of the bar tend to get a little queasy, nauseous, headaches. I bring this story up on purpose because you are going to deal with paranormal activity tonight. I don't know how it's going to affect any of you. Anybody feels any of those symptoms, I need to know immediately. This is literally the scariest part of your tour, that it's a possibility you could get a headache. Just letting you know now. So, let's not talk about our own health because you guys all buckled up real quick on that one. Like, oh man, there's headaches coming. I didn't sign up for this. So,
I have them all the time, so it's no problem for me.
we'll put an EMF meter on your head and see if it's coming from the ghosts. So, now, the same building, we had a big earthquake here in 1886. If you've never taken any kind of Charleston tour, we all talk about the earthquake because it's an anomaly. We don't get earthquakes. So allegedly, this is where the first death occurred from that earthquake. A piece of the mantle that you see in the middle of the building also goes around to the front on the East Bay side. So a piece of that mantle actually broke off, struck somebody in the back of the head, and killed him. Apparently, you can see his ghost in the middle of East Bay Street in the middle of the night. Now, notice I said apparently and allegedly a lot with that story. I don't have any proof. That's A, to prove that I'm not going to lie to you guys all night long, and second, it's just a great segue so you guys aren't thinking about getting sick on the tour. So, are you guys ready to go ghost hunting?
Yeah.
All right, we're going to head this way. So, Elizabeth Ann is going to lead the way.
You work with Greg.
Yep.
Oh yeah.
Greg,
Yeah, Greg, put them laser beams out.
Oh.
I gotta get near him first.
Pictures. We need lots and lots of pictures.
Yeah, I don't like the thing that you have.
Can you see me in it? Take
Yeah.
a picture of me.
Great. You gotta watch them lasers, man.
Oh.
You're already shining them all over.
Oh.
Straight down.
Like a bad dad with them.
They're like 4 lasers on one.
Did you take a picture?
Yeah.
All right. So, your entire time with me should be thought of kind of a ghost hunting 101. Every place we go to is going to be the next level up. This is a level 1. It's going to be super easy. This is just a place for me to be able to bounce around with all of you and show you more tactics about your device. It is haunted with a one-liner. So, I guess first rules first. Absolutely no lasers on the barn. You will spook the horses, so they necessarily have to stay on the ground.
Oh, I didn't know that was in
Am
there.
I supposed to keep, even like when we're standing here, is he supposed to still have that on? I'm supposed to be taking the picture?
He
Or
can
just
if he
when
wants to.
Or just when we walk?
Actually, we're going to be in areas like this or close to things like this. So usually when I say, all right, guys, let's spread out, that's usually when you guys get started. I don't care if you guys want to sit here and take pictures through it. I'm just going to probably have to change his batteries by halfway through.
Okay.
I don't mind. I got stacks of them. We're good. So, look at that. So we got
It's going to orange. It's going to orange.
It's good.
What's
So we
that mean?
What does it mean?
So we are not close enough to a building right now for that to be making any kind of, I don't see necessarily a pattern out of it. And we're also standing on top of a sewer line. So again, now what do you got? What does that mean? Somebody getting a divorce in here? Because that's a word that just popped up. Not that I'm not looking to out anybody.
Is it divorce?
Oh shit.
Let me give you the one-liner history before we truly get started. Let's turn them spirit boxes down. I know we're excited. So, you guys don't know what you're doing yet. Let me finish up.
I don't think you have any idea.
I love the excitement. I'm like, hang on, guys. I got more directions. So, the only history I have here is this is the same barn that held horses that delivered milk and eggs to the residents of Charleston. So, that's the history. So, we're talking, what, 1860s to 1920s, roughly? And it's very vague even at that point. So, spirit boxes, there's 3 of you that have spirit boxes. This is not TV, okay? This is not, is somebody here? Because if they answer no, there's somebody here. Okay? That's how that goes. We're going to stay away from yes and no questions all night long. There's always a way to reword the question. So, with that said, you're going to ask things you already know the answers to. And for example, if somebody's here, tell me what color the big red barn is. Obviously, we're listening for the color red. In the event there's no DJ or song lyric that has the word red in it, they might find something that's specifically red, like blood, heart, fire truck. It's not going to be somebody's shoes or t-shirt. Those things aren't specifically red. Does that make sense? This is about putting those clues together. This isn't going to be a full-blown conversation. Hi, I'm Big John. I play for the Giants. You know, we're looking for little tidbits of information that hopefully will tie things, solidify them. If you hear double-digit numbers, it's a good chance, not a great one, that it could be one of Big John's teammates' jersey numbers. Katie hears the number 40, you get the word art on your word list. Art Faircloth was number 40 on Big John's team. I always want that extra clue. Some of my stories tonight have multiple people with the same name. Charles, Eliza, George. Like, I need to know who the hell I'm talking to. So again, I always want that extra clue. There's always going to be key words in every story I tell you. 47, New York, Giants, Big John, bar, taps, anything related to a bar. So with this, the next question is going to be what's inside the barn. Animals, horses, draft horses, that's what breed they are. Milk and eggs, delivery. Milk and eggs could also be protein and calcium. I've seen it here a couple of times. So again, just a matter of how it decides it wants to come up. So spirit boxes, that's how you're going to operate throughout the night. As far as everybody else, obviously lasers down, take plenty of pictures, keep them off of vehicles. You will set off car alarms. Let's see, what else do we have? I want you to kind of get used to where the temperature changes and how your EMF is going to work as well. That's your big number. So I'm going to constantly follow up with you as well. cameras, I'm going to work with the two of you first just to show you a few extra tactics, and then I'm going to start bouncing around with everybody else, and then we're going to get away from ponies and football and go learn a couple of 100 years ago type of history. So again, this is just a great practice area, so turn those spirit boxes up. If you get too close to that side of the barn, your spirit boxes need to be audible to up to 2 people only. The horses don't like the white noise. We don't want to have them kick the metal wall. If you wanted to shat your pants today, that's the way to do it, because it is loud. So let's have some fun in here. We're again, 5 minutes. Let me catch up with all of you. I'm going to start with cameras. So cameras can follow me this way. Everybody else can spread out, unless you want to stick around because you have a spirit box anyway. So with yours, you kind of already have the gist of it going to bleach out. Again, with the, and that's the video cameras. So you can actually follow Greg around and start taking, it's okay. So with the night vision, just keep that switch off if you can. Yeah, we don't even want to bother with it. Remind me, because last night I wanted to take some footage in Lodge Alley. So when I say we're about to go to Lodge Alley, you're going to record in there too. Okay. So with the thermal imaging, again, with the trying to keep somebody in the view at all times, it's a big deal. Gotcha. I don't care who it is, if we're at distance, short, whatever. Again, it doesn't have to be in somebody's face. Yeah. But again, anybody off in the distance is going to be
have
good.
that heat.
Right. We want the differential. It's much easier to spine those cold spots if we have the array of color.
Yeah. That makes sense.
I will show you evidence that I've caught with that camera at the next location, because that's where it happened.
Oh, yeah.
So once I tell the story there and I'm bouncing around, I'll definitely get that evidence out. I'm usually really good about showing you guys what you're actually looking for.
Cool, yeah.
So, I mean, like, you're good to go because your stuff is easy. Just make sure the camera stays on the right so it doesn't flip for YouTube, because YouTube doesn't like that. That's where it goes.
Cool.
And let me show you how to get to, I'm going to conference
I'm gonna take a picture of all of our instruments in the middle. I'm gonna take a picture of that, guys.
Goes home.
Those brothers.
I don't know why it took so long to take. Okay.
Because it's hot.
Yeah!
The ghost doesn't want you to take it.
It's like, fuck this, bitches. Yeah. Can we go in there?
Yeah, can we see the horses? Can we see them through here?
Yeah.
I like the smell of horses. I don't care.
Hey.
Is yours saying anything, Sarah?
He was saying some things down the street. I was like, oh crap.
What did it say?
It creeped me out. It kept saying.
What? It's just voice. It's like.
No, it was saying barn. That was the weird thing when I.
It
first
was
heard
saying
it the first
barn.
time. I swear to God, yeah.
How does it?
Breeze feels
How does
good.
it hear?
They just cursed me out.
It said, "Shut the fuck up."
Where am I at on, where's the Rachel? Where's the Rachel?
Where's
You're
the
the Rachel.
I'm the
Rachel.
Alright, so you getting used to how those numbers move around a little bit? Have you seen anything move?
Yeah, so no, it's been at 0 pretty much the whole time. So then this is the outside temperature.
Stop looking at Rachel's
So-
butt.
When it goes above 2, you started
2.5.
different.
Yeah, that's kind of when I want to look to see what the patterns are. What I'm going to do right now is I'm going to shut the temperature gauge off. Why? Because it's going to put all the battery juice in your EMF, and it's going to move a lot faster, even though you haven't really seen it move yet. So it will start moving. Just kind of keep track of like what was the highest number, because I'll have to manually record that.
Okay.
So again, I just want a bigger focus. It'll be a little bit more accurate. So where I left the flap open in the back, let's pull your antenna up and then turn the device around to where that flap is open.
That's right.
Nope, antenna.
Oh, I didn't know what that was.
That's for the temperature. You're good.
Okay, so the antenna's off.
Alright, flip the device over, lift the flap. There's 2 little white buttons in there. The one closest to the edge, that's the one that controls the REM pod. Go ahead and click it in place. We'll hear it click. Perfect. So, flip it around. Watch, it's going to be bright. So, what happens with this is there's an EMF field created around the antenna. When it breaks is when the lights go off. There's a way to reset it in the event that it came from your movements, which can happen often. On the right-hand side, I think. Yeah, on the right-hand side, there are 4 buttons. If the event it's going crazy and you can't get it to stop, the very bottom button will help reset
we had some
it back to straight
tacos.
again.
Fish.
So, in the event that it goes wonky like that, hit the bottom button, it'll reset
Yeah,
back.
there's like a there's like a little Mexican
Yeah, I was
place.
going to say, let's reset it and see what happens. So we're going to use this as kind of a call answer. If somebody screwed me, go to Blue Smoke.
Well, you said y'all were gonna just go scoop something up.
Try to get
They did ice cream.
Oh.
Just the
Do
bottom.
you think that has anything to do with it?
Well, I figured y'all were just gonna scoop something up, so I didn't.
And I
wanna-
don't feel very
Sounds
good.
that we don't want.
Yeah. Well, then you wouldn't want to go there. It was very crowded. And...
No, I mean, you know, I must be being affected by the homeless.
Oh,
Again, something's near
yeah.
you.
I got a headache,
So-
but I always have headaches.
Yeah.
That's nothing new.
Work independently. This one, you don't need any numbers for something to go off.
Yeah. I bet.
Vice versa. So
I
again,
bet.
two different types of EMF fields. It's not going to measure the one that's being generated around the antenna. However, we
Probably
do
hot.
want to see what's going on with the
I like
field
it that way,
around
though.
the device itself.
I like
So
when
if I were to
things
put my
are
cell phone up to the
big
side
and
of
hot.
this, you would probably get a reading in a pattern. It would go back and forth the same two numbers. But again, you'll get used to how your movement's affected as well as you're walking around. You'll see like, oh, that was for me. That was for me. You'll get it. Just takes a little bit of time. All right, you guys got the laser thing down?
Yep.
Have you heard anything out of your spirit box?
I heard barn earlier.
You heard barn?
Nothing else. Yeah.
Well, that's good. That's a pretty definitive clue. So let me write that down. Follow up. Hey, Katie, have you heard anything yet out of yours?
Nothing. No.
Well, you don't know all that yet. So what do you have?
A lot of radio
What is?
stuff.
Oh yeah.
Well, that's what we want.
Oh.
So that white noise, it's a possibility something can come through as far as a disembodied voice, meaning not radio chatter. But if you hear radio chatter, that's the kind of thing I want. Sarah's already heard the word barn. So again, we're at the big red barn. Are you guys ready to learn some real history?
Yeah.
Let's go this way.
Yeah, man.
This damn freaking owl.
Ghosts everywhere.
This is like me learning fusion. If there's a ghost next to me, you better take a picture. Goodbye.
Hang on, yes, you don't know what she's asking here. No ponies over here. The wires. It's actually, she's not close enough for the wiring. Like, that's a pretty close proximity type device. So, again, after I'm done telling the history here, you'll go ahead and start recording on your device. We do want to record in this location, just so you know. Alright guys, welcome to another beautiful spot in Charleston. Another parking lot, I know. So, let's go ahead and turn the spirit boxes and REM pod off. So that's antenna in, white button pushed in the back. Only because it's a distraction. I want to make sure I get you guys the full history so you guys know what you're
It's a
listening
white
for.
button in the back.
So, let's go ahead and turn that down. There you go, perfect. It's recording, we're good.
Okay.
Alright, she's excited, can you guys tell? She's ready to go. So,
Just hit my shoulder and said it was red.
that's the white button in the back that's making that do that. Perfect, there we go. Now it's back to my show. Alright, so, what do you got?
What does it say?
It says photo.
Oh.
I will get things that say camera, photo, you know, those kind of things. You know, video. It's almost a cue for me to check what's going on with some specific device. It happens all the time. So, anyway, what is this place? This is the Charles and Eliza Pinckney Mansion. So their mansion actually sat in the front of this lot. Eliza's garden was lined up with the second truck over there and came all the way across. And then the servant and slave quarters were over here where we're standing now. So, let me first point out, I am not going to be giving you questions like what color is George Washington's white horse, like what we did with the red barn. You're going to get the answers from your spirit boxes and things going on with your devices. We'll be putting the clues together, or I will be putting all the clues together as I bounce around with all of you. So, who the hell were Charles and Eliza Pinckney? They had a son named Charles. They had a nephew named Charles. The son and the nephew, signers of the Constitution. I know, history's boring. So, she had a yawn. I had to tease her.
Past my bedtime.
Signers of the Constitution. Again, nobody likes talking about politics, even those of you that are local. I'm sure like this is a weird spot for you guys, so we're going to move on from the politics anyway. So, Eliza, we're going to talk about her. Way cooler anyway. So, Eliza married Charles at a young age. I'm not going to tell you how old she was. I'm just going to tell you that Charles was over double her age. So again, looking for numbers. Numbers usually don't lie. So, with that said, her dad over in England thought, what do you have now?
Grandmother. It's fine. Tell us the story.
Just that every time he chuckles, I have to stop.
Sorry. I'll stay away.
You're fine. It's his chuckle, it's not you. Like, what's going on now? So, where was I? So, Dad thought he was dying, and she didn't want to go home because she didn't think he was dying. He wanted to see all of his kids one last time, and she just said, no, I'm going to get married instead. This is the 1740s. There's no such thing as citizenship. She wasn't marrying for a green card. She actually married out of love, believe it or not. So, she was right. Dad didn't die right away. Dad starts sending over gifts from England. One of those gifts happened to be the plant indigo. Indigo is a plant that makes blue dye that makes her blue jeans blue. Anne's wearing it right now. That's how we still use it today. That's just less indigo. I went with Anne because she's got a darker shade. So, now, and his is too spotty. So, I couldn't figure his out. Yeah, he's got all kinds of indigo in it. But anyway, so the indigo is an interesting crop because she didn't know what she was doing with it yet. She experimented with it here. She learned from her slaves and servants how to keep it cultivated in our weird temperatures. Why? Because they came from the Gullah culture. They're straight from Africa. Like, these were agriculturists. They're farmers. They know what they're doing. She picked their brains. She kept experimenting. She was able to figure it out and move it over to Sneed Farm in Mount Pleasant. So you guys know where Mount Pleasant is. That's what used to be there. Big, giant indigo crop plantation. So she calls Dad up, not really because it's 1740s, and she says, I need somebody somewhere to sell this to. I need some contacts. He starts giving her contacts from overseas. Boom. We have a businesswoman in the middle of the 1700s, colonial times. Absolutely unheard of. So keep in mind, indigo was already here. Okay, it just wasn't capitalized on. So it was that's a big deal to us. And keep in mind also, rice plantations were going downhill. So when she brought in her indigo, she swept right in, and she made, I can't tell you how many millions of dollars off of this crop. So I'm just giving you the tip of the iceberg of things that she's done as far as like what she's known for with her botany and indigo. There's weird stuff we can ask about her because there's some really cool facts. First off, you can ask about the marriage, obviously, that I mentioned earlier. How old she was, how old was Charles. Keep going. So I'm not screaming. Eliza was the second wife named Eliza from Charles. So I already told you there's 3 different Charles. Now we have 2 different Elizas. I need to know which one we're talking to. The reason you can ask that is they both go by their maiden name. They both start with the letter L, ironically. So try to get a maiden name so we know which Eliza we're talking to. You can ask what happened to the mansion. It's obviously not here anymore. Then you can ask what year that tragedy happened. The clue that you have is that it was a tragedy. So you can guess all day long, but until I hear a specific term, then I'll know that you guys actually came up with it from the spirit boxes. Because people come up to me, did it burn? Did it flood? Did it get electrocuted? Like, go get the answers. So let's see, what else? The kids. If you're going to ask about Eliza's children, please tread lightly. Please. Reason why is there's a tragedy among those kids. If you poke the bear too hard, all activity stops and everybody stops having fun because nothing is happening, including the EMF readings. They will go down to green and we won't see anything else the rest of the night. It's not just here, it's like she tells all the other ghosts, stop working. They're asking about my kids again. If you're going to ask about the kids, how many, boys, girls, names, leave it alone. Eliza's death, so we'll get into that. Ask anything you want to. Eliza, how old were you when you died? When did you die? Where did you die? What did you die from? What U.S. president was a pallbearer at your funeral? Those kind of things. Yes, that is a real question you can ask, and hopefully we will get the answer. There was a president that carried her to her grave. Pretty important stuff. Okay, we are going to spread out in here. You guys all have a basic gist of how your devices work. This is the only entrance and exit. It is a Saturday night. People will be coming flying in and out of here. People with cameras, all 3 types of cameras. People do not like their vehicles filmed or taken pictures of. If somebody's going to their videos or going to their vehicle, please walk away. Well, that's a pretty big deal too. I've been screamed at and I don't like to run with 9 people. I got the heavy bag. I'm going to be the one being left behind. So, I know, right? So, have some fun here. We are going to spend a good 10 minutes in here. I'm going to check you guys all in on the websites that you guys bought your tickets from, give you guys kind of a head start. We definitely want to get your recording started here. Thermal imaging. Keep panning away. Wherever there's activity going on, especially with Rachel's device, if she's got something going on, film it. Jennifer's got something going on with hers, film it.
Gotcha.
We want all different types of angles in here. Lasers, go nuts. You guys have a spirit box, stick together. So Obviously, you guys can listen to the Spirit Box as well. Like the Spirit Box, hers is a big deal because it doesn't record. If I get 3 people to hear the same thing, pretty sure that's solid that they actually all heard the same thing instead of just 2 people saying, "Tell him he heard Eliza," you know, that kind of thing. So if they're all grouping together on me, they're going to vote me off the island, and never mind. So spread out, have some fun. Go ahead and start recording. I'm going to check you guys in. Give me a few minutes, and I'll be right with every one of you to start taking more notes.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
All right, let's get it, baby.
You gotta do that one, the button in the back.
I did it.
Oh, yeah. Oh. What does that mean?
I don't know because now it's not lit up anymore.
Why isn't the light on?
Music? How do I get a light on this thing?
I don't know. Yeah, that's fine.
When I say that was smart.
Oh, it's not.
Hey, I'm supposed to like. What did it say?
105. Ball bear was. It was a ball bear. What happened to your house, Eliza? We don't get those questions. We just take pictures of shadows.
You see anything in there?
No.
What is it? What?
I had a high number earlier.
Did you?
Yeah, over there it was like an 8.
Damn.
Really high.
Where at?
It was like over here. Over back over.
Someone's going to pass by here super quick. What? see the pen, and you can see the dots at the bottom. This is the free yeah, like through it. You should almost be looking this way. Like you should be over here.
It had a high number.
I keep missing it. I don't see anything. I gotta remember that I'm looking for like cold spots.
Yeah, but you have to have somebody like us in the.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like, you're taking up the heat, so.
So it would be cold.
Yeah. So it'd be like blue.
Because what happened there, this is a triangle that is spread out, right? Something is going to touch the blood and it has to go in.
Eliza, what was your job? What was your career?
Why?
The numbers are all over the place.
It's probably a good thing.
What's been your biggest number so far?
13, I think.
Okay. Take it. It's a good number. And again, so Jennifer's EMF meter only goes to 25. Yours, I've seen it cap at 149 is the highest I've seen it so far.
Damn.
Like, it will go far. So you've gotten 13, you said?
It fluctuates so quickly.
I know, you gotta catch it. That's not you. Just so you know.
It was not.
No. So, 13. If anything goes above that, let me know and we'll definitely record all the different spikes that you've gotten. Any
Okay.
other crazy motions that you think were not you? As far as the lights coming across?
Just like the crazy blinking.
Yeah.
So the lights are just, they just happen.
Do you think it's with your movement though?
I don't know, is that what it should be?
It could be. We don't want it to be. I don't want to record those. Like, go ahead and like just move it across the front of you. See how it kind of moved around a little bit based on your movement?
Yeah.
If you're moving and it's going off, 9 times out of 10, it's your movement, and I can't debunk it otherwise. So the key
So
thing,
like the slower I go, is that better?
the more still you are,
Steady.
the better. Anything crazy out of you yet?
Not yet, not
All right,
yet.
I'm going to show you the evidence because you're exactly where we are when it
Oh,
happened.
shit.
So, I have evidence from that camera that I'm going to show him. So, I can show both of you. So, let me just bring it up. So, I was showing the laser people. so they had a better gist. It actually happened right here on both sides of that pole. Like obviously this little white sign wasn't there. So they called me up there because they thought they saw some shadows, and I went there to go debunk it. This is obviously the wall. This is the wall right here. Did you see the two living people walking past?
Yeah.
The two orange heads. Let's find the dead people. They're more fun. So they're going to show up right there, which is right there at that corner. Notice he was in view the whole time.
Yeah.
They should have been the same color.
Right.
This was last June or July. I don't remember.
Damn.
Actually, it says October. I thought it was June or July. Yeah, it's a friend. I've had firemen and mechanics who use this on the daily as part of their job actually analyze this video with me frame by frame through Zoom calls. It's two heads, just back to back this way, just kind of bopping around.
Wow, you didn't pay more attention. You like really.
Yeah, I gotta be really on it with
So,
that.
how is your recording coming? Is it still on a square?
Yeah.
Good. Constantly let me know if anything changes, because that app has really been messing with my whole life lately. Because now when I have to splice it together, I had to find a new piece of software to splice it together, and now it takes hours and hours and hours. And I don't mind splicing it as long as I know about it, but sometimes it loses video altogether.
Right.
I would say after we leave here, just stop it and start it again for safety, so that way we know we have the first half of our night.
Yeah. I got you.
Fair?
I got you. Yeah.
Break
for
it up
sure.
a little bit. Perfect. How we doing on here?
I gotta move slower with this guy.
So does this?
Look for them blue heads around me. I want some.
I know. I need to get like way back.
So it only goes in 3.9 gigs at a time. 9 minutes and 26 seconds is.
Anybody?
No.
Let's go over here.
Oh yeah, I remember when this was a build. This used to be a restaurant.
That's like weird, like people coming into town, like sailors and shit. Like the water is like so close.
Oh yeah.
It's literally right there.
Yeah, it was definitely a port city.
This is the first thing I use because I forget. I go through everything. I use this stuff. Like, okay, I know these 10 keywords are relevant. There's timestamps. I know when to watch the video. I know when to try to take a look around stuff. And this is my guide. So again, first piece.
Nah.
Hot spots, cold spots, drunk spots.
Drunk spots. I'm seeing all kinds of things.
That's because we're saying it's bullshit. I know, yeah. This is bullshit. Are you really here? Well, now I don't want to talk to you at all.
Did Eliza pick me have 5 children? We asked her the question. Very clear.
Yeah, but I'm supposed to be taking it at an angle in case something wants single light or single light.
Yeah, we asked her what the fun is. Yeah. It wasn't fun.
Good stuff. All kinds of good stuff. I see you're looking at the viewers at
Huh?
and I have it at the lowest setting sensitivity. Like you can take the EMF meter on the antenna and make it huge. And that's what I do when I'm inside of the building and I set it down, kind of thing when I'm doing my investigation. But out here, fuck, I need it small. I don't need bugs making it go off. Kind of thing. So.
What you got?
Ain't shit.
Anything weird on your end?
Not yet. Not yet.
Some cool technology though, isn't it?
It is. It's badass. Yeah.
So the last one I had, it was a downgrade from the extended camera. It just gave you crosshairs in the center of the screen, so you literally had to move the camera to try to find where what the temperature was of where you thought the coldest spot was.
Yeah, yeah.
But with this one, it's like, oh, it's over here, it's over
Yeah,
here, it's over
just-
here.
yeah.
The trick to it is to try to keep the sky out of it because there's nothing to measure. It's measuring ambient temp, like the ambient
I see,
air.
yeah.
So it's going to go on forever, and of course that's going to be the coldest spot.
Right.
So I try to tell people now, I'm trying to remember, keep the sky out if you can.
Okay.
Just because it's going to move that cold thing up to the top, and we won't know anything down
Right.
below.
Yeah, that makes sense. Makes
So-
sense.
Hey, did you ever try that little thing they did on TikTok? What they did with the little motion thing where they just hold up to my grandma, you sit in the chair and just show the little figure.
The stick figures?
No, not the stick figure, it was like a colored figure. I don't know, it's some crazy shit they got on TikTok though.
I know.
So I know there's like a TikTok game you can use with the
But
like
this
you
one-
do 2 people in the screen and you
Okay.
take a selfie and it puts like the dog ears on somebody else that's not there.
No, not this one. It's like motion thing. Like when you move, you see like a colorful image of you moving. But if nothing's there, it'll still show colorful image like something is there, but it's not. Yeah.
Because I have the stick figure machine, you know.
Yeah,
like
the
you-
one that you
yeah.
start moving and doing
Right,
crazy things.
I got that being built right now because I'm
Oh,
doing
shit.
an investigation at the St. Augustine Lighthouse,
Yeah.
and they asked me to lead it. I was just supposed to be part of it.
Damn.
So now they called me up and they said, "Can you lead it for us?" I'm like, "I'll lead it, but you're going to refund my damn tickets because I'm not just going to
Yeah.
participate." You know, so
Yeah.
it's basically another podcast episode for me. Not to mention, I'll have 30 to 60 new folks that are going to, when they're passing through here, they're buying tickets. It's a good
Right.
marketing thing for me.
Oh, for sure,
But
yeah.
if I can get that SLS camera up there too, on top of everything else you guys are playing with, then again, there's going to be a lot of data coming out of that thing for sure. Because we're allowed to investigate there. Normally, when I
cool.
do my own investigations, I'm going to museums just like y'all do. I just have, that's in my pocket with the camera hanging out. I got the red spirit box in my pocket on mute. The EMF meter's over here, so I can just check it. The word list is going on my phone. I just look at everything later.
Damn, yeah,
so,
yeah.
I mean, I'm geared up with like a, canvas bag like a tourist does, and, they don't know all the shit I got running on me.
Right.
So I just look at it all later.
Yeah.
So, and not to mention, some of those places are almost disrespectful to do that kind of thing. And like I did the Flight 93 Memorial in Shanksville, Pennsylvania.
Oh, wow.
Do you know what I mean? For 9/11. Like,
right,
it's almost like, hey, have you seen any ghosts? Like, that's kind of disrespectful.
Yeah.
But that's the most evidence I've ever caught.
Damn.
Just walking around with all my gear running, took it all home. I didn't even know
Started
all
looking
this
at
stuff.
it.
Yeah. So I like to go in blind. I don't want to know what's going on. That was a bug just passing through, by the way. Did you see that?
Yeah.
I saw it like swirling around. But I don't want to know the history. All I want to know is somebody possibly could have died here. And then I read, like I go through the data, write everything down, and then I read about it. So I read like 2 or 3 books on that flight, and then I was like, oh shit, Grace was on that flight.
Right.
I seen that word come up on the spirit box.
Damn.
Do you know what I mean? That kind of thing.
So you don't have any like knowledge about it until after
right.
you. That's a good idea. Damn, that's sick.
Well, you got to go in blind.
Yeah.
In order to figure out what you got going on.
Yeah.
Let me see that red one for a second. Let me show you a little trick of things that I'm actually, because I haven't caught anything with 3D software on this guy yet. So really what I'm looking for on this, watch right here where I blow the smoke. This is what I'll be looking for. You see all the little red dots that come up? Sorry, I'm putting smoke on your face.
Oh, you good?
But that's what I'm looking for. And that's where the lasers are going to show up at.
So how should I hold it? Like straight up or just?
Either way, I was just doing the demo, blowing straight through the lasers, so that way you can see where the lasers were at, instead of just throwing my hand up in there. Pretty cool stuff, huh? It's a lot of going on. A lot for me to keep track of.
Yes, it is.
All right, let me, if anybody else heard anything else, we'll wrap this party up. Katie, have you heard anything else? You got anything else?
Mom, you're the photographer of the year.
Huh?
You're the photographer of the year.
Oh, you're just taking a shit ton of pictures?
That's what he told me to do.
Yeah.
Bunch of portraits. Go to a haunted house. Go to old building.
That's what I thought we'd like go into a building or whatever. Like, that would be. Yeah, this is cool, but.
I want to be feeling the ambience.
Yeah, I want to be like in the building. What's going on? What? All these people are coming over here.
Oh shit.
Oh man, they got a hell of a ghost tour. Oh shit. Is this guy not supposed to be doing ghost tours? He's like, alright, let's get out. Let's get the fuck out.
Laser beams. He's so excited.
Yeah, this is actually part of a restaurant. Let's go ahead and cut those beer boxes and your rim cut down, Rachel.
I'm trying.
So we got to guess on what?
On who the pallbearer was.
Okay.
George Washington.
George Washington. Where did you get the guess from?
So I said to her,
Because I get a lot of different views around that.
well, I said if this lady died before 1800, then there's really only 3 or 4 presidents it could be. You know, and I was standing there listening through all of the things and asked how she knew the person, kind of back and forth, and it said stones, but what's Washington famous for? Being a Mason. Which I know it's a Freemason, it's a different thing, but stones popped up just as we were talking about that, just as we asked.
And that's a word that I don't think I've ever put together with Washington, because the things that I normally get, if it's not George Washington, I'll get wood,
think about it,
I'll get cherry,
Yeah.
apple, and I've gotten
Yeah.
Marca here.
I thought they said stoner and they were talking about you.
But nice job.
I think I went at it a different way. So maybe that's why it's a different.
And then they said grandma. I thought maybe it was me.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
That's what I was thinking.
I was like,
He's not a good French man. Later is Cliff the Mailman from here.
There you go.
So,
That's
where
what I
everybody
got.
knows your name.
Flip
So,
the mailman.
I can't believe we're like going on fucking East. Everyone's gonna be like, racist.
You're not supposed to be recording. Oh, let me take a picture of me. Here, wait. Here, good spot. Here,
What am I doing?
You just take a picture of me in your machine, but like with me in the background like this.
Oh, these people are turning. These people are. Alright, ready?
Yeah, ready?
There you go.
What do you think about it? Like, this is all tourist down here.
Oh my god, yeah. I didn't know this was open right now.
Night market.
I need to go to the market sometime.
Yeah. We gotta eat at Grocery 5 too.
Yeah.
If you ever want to
They have like a big ass fucking thing up on the roof.
Rooftop.
That would be sick. It's hot.
You serious?
Yeah.
What the fuck is this carry at the restaurant?
A nice ass restaurant.
Leaving his car?
Wow. I was like trying to look at everyone.
Oh wait, that's okay.
Oh yeah,
I was
that's
like, wait,
right.
that's so sad.
I've never been to Mike's place.
It's pretty fucking cool.
Pretty what?
I mean, it's literally like a huge dive bar, but
Like food wise?
we've been here together before.
No, we've never gone there.
Me and Christina would go there all the time. You know, but Caesar salad with fried chicken, and it's like one of my favorite things ever.
They're going.
What a full ass glass of
They're
wine.
fucking annihilated. Look. You see? They couldn't even walk.
Just have a full ass glass of
Ruby
wine.
oil.
Just took the glass from the restaurant.
God. That's scary. They're probably about to go get in their car.
No, they're not driving their tour.
I know, I don't want people seeing like why is this dude got like infrared on the street?
You get like
I guess I could just
flagged.
like stop recording.
No, don't. Well, yeah, you're supposed to stop. You said stop recording.
I already
Oh, my zipper is like
it's down.
Oh, walk in there a little further.
Yeah. Yeah, step her in.
Alright, steer box is down low.
Wait, I gotta turn my
What,
thing
down
on.
there?
We turn all our things on now?
I think so. they're like half a mile.
They're not half a mile. We're hunting.
You're getting hot.
Palm tree touched me on the back of my neck.
Oh shit.
Damn palm tree. Playing tricks.
Hair standing.
Alright guys, let me tell you where we're at and kind of give you the lay of the land. Did you hear any names on yours, Sarah? Nothing. We got a Rhonda, Sullivan, and Hannah. Hannah, I want to say the name yes. I'm going to have to dive in to make sure. So the reason why I asked for names is because this used to be one of our first streets here in Charleston, when it was actually Charlestown. When we came across the last crosswalk on East Bay Street, that's where the original Charlestown wall used to be. This used to be the walled city. So again, you're standing on one of the original streets of Charlestown. You guys are most of you are on vacation, you need to see some cobblestone. So that's why I bring you up here. So these two buildings weren't here. People used to live here. I have that full list of residents of every person that's ever lived here. It's not a long list, and I normally hear the name Benjamin or John, sometimes together, mostly together. Benjamin and John were 2 out of 5 people that lived here in 1801. Just last week I heard a third name that came up that yes, was 1801. The name was Jane. Last night we heard Ben. We got a John later on in the night. There were 4 different Johns that lived here, so when I get his last name too, it's definitive. His last name was, what is it?
Little?
No, Johnson. John Johnson. Yeah, his mom was clever. So, the interesting thing about this alley is, we already talked about Freemasons. This is called Lodge Alley because there was a Masonic lodge here before it became residential. That's why it's called Lodge Alley. We do get the word Mason, stone, clay, bricks, all kinds of things related to the Freemasons. So, every hotel, this is Lodge Alley Inn, by the way, has a claim of a ghost. They don't give me free rooms to verify. So next summer, the wife and I are going to be making a round, and we will be podcasting and vlogging about every place we go to, whether it's haunted or not. That's kind of the truth behind this, right? You guys want to know what's the legit thing? We're going to see what's actually going on. The reason why I asked Kevin to actually get us some film in here is I do have a picture from when I first started this tour a couple of years ago of some shadow figures. Now that I have the full spectrum camera, he can see in the dark. So hopefully we capture something here tonight. And I'm sure, I'm hoping he has plenty of video left because I definitely want to get more footage towards the end of our last investigation. So.
Aren't shadow people bad?
Not necessarily.
I watch too much of
TV shows make this out to be what it's really not. You guys are getting the real deal tonight. It's about the history, because if you don't know the history, you ain't got nothing. It's just what it's all about. What's going to happen from here is we are going to go through the rest of this alley, but we are literally right on the cusp of where tour guides are allowed to go. So we're going to exit and go straight across the street. We will be in a neighborhood. Sorry, you're still out of the game for a little bit. Spirit boxes, you're going to kind of keep them to one person audible only as we cut through that neighborhood until we get to our next spot. I'll give you some of the legends and lore around town at the St. Philip Cemetery, and then we're going to investigate that female pirate whose name is Anne as our very last investigation. Fingers crossed we get as much as we did over at Pinckney Mansion. Pinckney Mansion, you guys actually caught more than my average, so that's a good night. If I get 3, 4, 5 pieces, I'm like, hell yeah, that's good stuff. If I got to stretch to pull stuff, it's a stretch, and it happens. None of you are negative Nancy's. Those are usually the ones if I have one. If I have one that just doesn't want to be here because their spouse dragged them here, it's a stretch. But you guys are all having fun, which is a good thing. So let's continue on. Kevin, I'd say once we exit the alley, you can go ahead and cut off the video. And Bernie, if you want to get pictures going down the alley the opposite way, you can. But we're going to continue on.
Yeah, he said one. He said there was like an inn.
Nobody step on a cobblestone.
No lie. Break my ankles.
there anybody here that wants to talk?
Oh shit. Shit, they're like way up here.
How's Bernie doing back there?
She's hanging in there.
Am I dragging her around town?
You're hanging in there.
Oh man.
Do you ever get accused?
Am I beating you up too?
Oh, we kayaked this morning.
Oh.
It's a long day. That's a good vacation.
Strain on the lower back.
Gotta get it in.
Someone or like help with someone? I keep getting like,
Yeah,
follow me,
that's
come
quite the
with
workout.
me, come over.
What?
We'll see what comes up on you.
Yeah.
So, with Ann's list, what will happen is once we turn the corner, I'm going to ask her what we have going on, because that might help direct which story I need to tell. There's like 10 different stories on the corner we're going to. Am I going too quick for you? And it's okay if I am.
No, we took pictures of the window because
So you were
he
working?
said, yeah, he said he thought he could.
Yeah.
Okay, we'll take it. All right, we're going to move on.
Give it a shot.
Yeah, it can't hurt.
Oh.
My lips are spinning.
Your lips are sweating.
Can you see my cold heart?
Yep.
Right.
Just right in the center.
Looking.
I can't wait to hear what Anthony's got to say. They're probably in like a big group like that.
Yeah, we'll probably pass them, honestly. We have to walk back to
That's so weird. Yeah, we got a long way to walk back. I don't even know.
Can we stop at a fucking bar, please?
I'm about to stop at that damn Scotchman. Give me a tall boy.
I know, yeah.
The what? Cross. It's no fucking cross.
Tommy Condom?
Yeah. It's like karaoke night.
Just lightning just went. Yeah, everything's
So Rachel's sister and sister's fiance or husband They're doing this right now downtown too.
They're on like a different ghost story, so we might like walk past them. Oh, are they over there?
No, I looked. I didn't see them.
Happens all the time. It's normally Bishop or Priest.
Karaoke.
The nightmare that he's singing down there, maybe.
Probably.
That's a ghost at ACDC.
He needs to go back.
Is it karaoke?
No, it's just a bad singer.
Bad band.
Bad band. All right, did we lose anybody?
Budget band.
Got everybody?
What?
Oh no, I'm good.
All right, cool.
I'm just.
Lots going on this corner, so I'm going to point out a few things. Well, first off, give me the last 5 or 6 terms that you got. Let's see if there's anything relatable.
Nightmare, Slide, Makeup, William, and Little.
Keep going.
Rhonda, Overcome, Later, Writing, Quickly, Data, Bottom,
When did writing come up?
10:17 p.m.
So that was after Quickly, after we passed the homeless guy on East Bay Street?
Mm-hmm. Yep.
Okay.
Next
Not related
one.
to here.
Yep.
Okay. Alright, so I don't hear any terms that are relatable to any of these stories, so I'm just going to go with my normal 2, and then we're going to dive into the Powder magazine. You guys cool with that? So
Yeah.
you can't interrupt me if something comes up in relation. So did you guys notice the gorgeous alley that we passed up with the brick where that tour guide was making fun of? So technically we're not supposed to be down there. I'm the guy who made the new neighbor mad with all my noisy gadgets down at the end. It is residential, and it is a great story. I get a lot out of it. It's called Philadelphia Alley. It used to be called Duelers Alley. That's where the duels used to occur for Charleston. So we all tell the specific story of one duel. It is actually a true story. We can prove it. This guy's name was Joseph Brown Ladd. He was a doctor from Rhode Island. He moves down here because he's supposed to get married to his fiancée, Amanda. Amanda just inherited a bunch of money from her dead parents. The attorney handling that money told her to send the doctor away. He thinks he's just after her money. So he moved to Charleston. He's dressed pretty well. He just got out of med school. The coachman that brought him into town set him up to be robbed and killed. Not a very good start to his stay in Charleston. With somebody walking by named Ralph Isaacs. Keep in mind, Ralph has the same initials of where the doctor came from, so I need that extra clue. Ralph Isaacs, Rhode Island. So Ralph says, you don't want to stay here? Let me take you somewhere else. He takes him to 59 Church Street, again with another number. 59 Church Street is friends of Ralph. The doctor's able to rent the room. They become friends. The doctor's practice takes off. He makes lots of money, which means Amanda's moving down soon. He becomes known as the Whistling Doctor. So, because the doctor makes so much more money than Ralph, they don't get to sit next to each other when they go to the theater together. The doctor makes more money, he gets better seats. That's how it went. So they talk about the plays on the way home. They go see William III, which somebody heard William. Where did William come from? Over here. So, and the press, that's a good one too. You'll know why in a second. So he goes to see William III, and they start arguing on the way home about the new actress that was here. The doctor loves her, Ralph doesn't. Then Ralph starts insulting the doctor's fiancée, Amanda, back home in Rhode Island. The two go their separate ways. Ralph is from here. He goes to the newspaper. He puts an ad in the newspaper telling the whole city what a disgrace the doctor is to the city of Charleston. The doctor sees it, he rebuttals with, let's go to Duelers Alley and settle this. They come down, they take the 20 paces, they turn, the doctor points his gun in the air and he shoots. He did not want to kill his friend. He just wanted to make a point. And that's mostly what happened in a duel, by the way. You just had to have enough courage to actually go fight for what you were fighting about. Ralph has his one shot, sorry Pat. He puts it in the kneecap on the doctor, so the doctor didn't die right away. His friends pick him up, they carry him to 59 Church Street, and he dies 10 days later, probably from bleeding out. The doctor could not heal himself. This is the late 1700s. They say as you walk through the alley, you can actually hear the whistles from the doctor. Not with this bad guy singing, you're not going to hear anything with that guy going. However, Queen Street and Cumberland Street, the locals know the story. They're going to throw a whistle down the alley to throw people like us off all the time. Do I have really faint whistling in the background that I can't make out what it is? I do, but that's when I used to be able to take my tours down there. So that's why we got rerouted up this way. It's an interesting alley. Another interesting piece of history for some of you locals, at the end of the alley, the bricks get older. Those bricks at the end are sun-dried by slave children. You can see handprints and fingerprints at the end of that alley, which is part of the reason why I got in so much trouble. My groups like to stop right outside the mansion door and take pictures. Put an EMF meter near it. They're on the ground with a spirit box. I'm like, it's like, wait, this kid's not coming back here. Like, that's a painful memory. He's not going to return here. It's just an interesting part of the history that you can see all over town. It's actually in 3 different places. The previous owner of that mansion said that it was a false thing, that Charleston put it there on purpose, like they planted it there. You could see that it's a child's hand. I mean, it's small. There's no reason why they did it. So again, when you see it, it's interesting. And it is right outside somebody's door, so don't linger. Don't tell them I sent you either. So, alright, so, anything else pop up? The number 5, again, with the number 5. Nothing. No, definitely nothing. Alright, so the other thing I'll point out, there's 2 different sides of the cemetery. The eastern side, closest to the water, is actually for native Charlestonians only. That's where Charles Pinckney's buried. They're actually doing a lot of... that's 80%, that's what that one is. It says haunting. So, but that's for native Charlestonians. This is for everybody else. John Calhoun is actually buried on this side, your 7th vice president. The interesting thing is the name Andrew and the last name of Jackson has been showing up a lot lately. That's our 7th president. That's who Calhoun served under. So again, shows up at the Pinckney site. It's been showing up here a lot too. So if you guys see those 2 names or hear those names, that's part of the reason why. On the other side of this cemetery is a place called the Pirate House. The Pirate House, you can't miss it. It has a anchor on the front of it, and yes, somebody lives there, and don't go in his backyard looking for ghosts. He gets pissed, and don't ask me how I know all these facts of where not to go. So I'm that guy. But anyway, that's where Blackbeard's men would come off their ships. They'd have a few drinks, meet with a few ladies, have a place to sleep, and they dug a tunnel underneath the Pirate House, 1 block away to Dock Street Theater. They would go there because at the time that was called Planters Hotel. It was a whorehouse, a playhouse, and a hotel. Obviously they're going there for the whorehouse, but they also went there for the playhouse. The playhouse part of it is because pirates tie really good knots. So they would actually go there to work for a few days in between bartering with the locals. So they were actually making money. So that again is a legitimate thing. They just filled in that tunnel in the 1990s. Rumor had it that Blackbeard buried his treasure there, but we all know that treasure is in North Carolina. Where's my North Carolinians? Is it? Yeah, it's you guys, right? Don't you guys live in North Carolina? Yeah, you guys have the treasure, not us. So again, so now that I have your mind set up on pirates, we're looking at the building over here to my right. This is the powder magazine. The building with crosses, those are not crosses, those are earthquake bolts. Just behind those is that if we get quaked again on another anomaly like 1886, like I talked about at the beginning, you can turn those turnbuckles and it'll straighten the building back up again. It's a great theory, but it doesn't work. So you guys about the Charlestown Wall. Was right behind me. Came up Cumberland Street. I go to the last crosswalk we crossed. This is it right here. So like, Powder Magazine, about half a block instead of going south towards the Battery. It's literally tucked into the corner of the 2 corners of the wall. The reason why, we're 3 blocks away from the water. If cannon attacks it, it's going to have a hard time going through 32 inches of wall. But let's say it goes all the way through and hits the gunpowder and it blows up. There's sand in the roof from 1712 that makes the sand go up in the air and fall to put out the fire. Sounds like a great idea too, right? Yeah. It doesn't work. No. So, again, it's never been attacked. That's why it's still here. The sand is still there. It is a museum now. And we know that the sand is still there because it doesn't disintegrate for one, but they did renovations to it in the 90s so they can make it a museum. So, I give you all of that history just now on the building because our pirate story starts right in the middle of its construction. So 1703 to 1713. This is the oldest government building on the East Coast, by the way. They had a corny tour guide, they expected applause. So, but anyway. So. Where was I? 1708, right in the middle of its construction, a young lady moves here. Follow me, there's a lot of weird twists on this one. Her name is Anne Cormack. She moves here with a dad and his mistress. The mistress happens to be her mother. You guys with me so far? The 3 of them are getting away from his wife. They move here from Ireland in 1708. Just keep that in the back of your mind that was one scorned lady. So once they get here, she's obviously familiar with the building. Dad buys a plantation in the Georgetown area. He was an attorney back in Ireland. He's a farmer now because we don't need any more attorneys. Apparently Ralph Isaacs was it. But anyway, so she sends the daughter down here all the time to do business for the plantation because mom died pretty quickly after they got here. So she sees the building. We're going to fast forward to 1713. It's done. 1715. Pirates are coming from town. Now it's getting exciting, right? Anne Cormack, by the way, she's kind of she was a little hardcore. Rumor had it she actually killed one of her servants by stabbing to the belly when she was a child. I'm giving you the mentality of this young lady for the rest of the story. When pirates are coming through town, she's stoked. She can't wait to fall in love, and she does very quickly. This guy's name is James Bond. that is approved, they go to Jamaica. They get married. And Cormac now turns into Anne Bonny. When they get there, she realizes that Bonnie, her new husband, is a coward. He's a privateer, a spy for the British. This is not Captain Jack Sparrow. This is not who she wanted. So she falls in love again. Now we have John Rackham, a.k.a. Captain Jack. It's a cooler name. We're going to refer to him as Jack through the rest of the story. He has his own ship, and she wants to be part of it. He says, females curse pirate ships. You can't be a girl on my crew. You have to dress like a guy. So she says, okay. Dad used to hide her in his attorney office back home, dressing her like a boy to keep her away from his wife. She's okay with cross-dressing. Let's do this. I'm a pirate now. So she's allowed to be a female in his quarters, of course. He's the captain. That's just how it goes. Being a female in the captain's quarters, she eventually gets pregnant. Of course she does. Piracy, right? So can't have a pregnant pirate guy on the crew. He drops her off in Cuba to go have the baby. Come back, we'll figure it out later. She has the baby, returns with no child. We have no idea what happened to that kid. Now, she's also dressed like a female. She's pretty angry. Her being dressed like a female, going back to the ship, makes Jack pretty mad. She's going to make him even more mad, because that's just who she is, by flirting with the new pirate crew that he just captured that's down below deck. We're going on guy number 3, by the way, in case you lost count. The guy she's flirting with turns out to be a female, pretending to be dressed like a guy to be part of the pirate crew that Calico Jack just captured. So, yeah. So, this young lady's name was Mary Reed. So, read like read a book. She convinces her to become part of the crew. The British find out where they are. It's one of the final pirate ships that they were actually after. They send the whole fleet to take down this ship. Anne and Mary are the only 2 people above deck to be able to fight because all the other men are down below deck watching the other captives and they're too drunk to come up. So, what do you think's going to happen? The ship's going to be taken, of course. So, as Calico Jack was being arrested, Anne Bonny looks at him, her beau, she was trying to, that was my wife, by the way. It's just funny. That was the I'm not a witch, I'm your wife. Yeah, that was the ringtone. So she looks at Jack and she says, you should have fought like a man instead of going down like a dog. So the word dog shows up here quite a bit too. Now, the judge, his name is Nicholas Laws. When you guys hear or see my name, it's not me, it's the judge. He wants to see the 2 men that fought back by themselves. He already hung and killed all the other men. They're gone. Look at Jack. The 2 men go in front, they reveal their gender as females. He doesn't care. They're still pirates in my eyes. I'm still going to hang you. We clean our bellies was the last thing they said, which means they're both claiming to be pregnant, trying to save themselves one last time. You cannot hang a pregnant woman in 1720s. Now, he says, fine, I'll let you hang you. Send them both back to jail. Dad is still here in Charleston. He bails out you, brings you back home, you marries again, back number 4, has 4 children and dies at the age of 84. Yeah, I know. And all of those little facts in between are all missing. I'm giving you stuff that I actually read among common things among different books. What happened to Mary Reed, Greg? Do you know? Yeah. She did die. She died a year later from whatever pirates died from in a Jamaican jail. No child. So, we can assume that it's false, but again, there's a lot of holes in the story. This is level 3. Ask whatever you want to. However, I did give you 2 things that I can prove that I did not give you in the story. The name of Calico Jack's ship and the name of Anne Bonny's parents. So, cameras. I am going to probably have to change your battery. It's probably dead. Cameras, if you want to definitely get into the front of the powder magazine, put your cameras right through the gates, point lasers in there, just don't go too high, you'll go in somebody's living room. Yeah, those are apartments back there on the back road. But again, don't interrupt other tours. Spirit boxes, loud and proud, let's get them up and running. And what questions you guys have so far of anything else you could ask? Are you guys ready to go into this last part?
I'm ready.
All right,
Yeah,
flare them up, let's go. Get your REM pod going. I'm going to hang out with Kevin for a few.
Everything's working except the camera itself.
Yep. Well, normally after about an hour and a half, it's an hour.
Powder.
And the fact that we were recording after recording in Lodge Alley, so I don't know.
Where are we going? Like right up to this building?
I don't know. You just want to be in the front.
I don't want to be in the front. Do these people know? Oh, there's like 100 people over there. I'm gonna wait. I think they said this is the last one.
Oh, sorry. Sweating profusely.
I'd love to just see Anthony walk
I know,
by.
that's literally how I thought that one guy was going for a second. Yeah, these are like semi-cars, but then this is like
Yeah, that was. I mean, you can't really like. Just kind of listen to stories. Oh wow. We got devices.
Where is the
Which one?
one that Amory came with me?
I don't know. I thought it was the one on East Bay and Broad. Because, like, down below, I think there's a jail down there. But
No, well, that's what
but that's not what. That's not
not
what
where
he
they
said. No. I don't know really what he said.
It'd be funny if somebody open that damn door. I'm gonna leave. Oh yeah.
I'm running.
So he'll be like, "Who are you?" Huh? Let's take a double cannon right there too. Hmm?
What was scary was that guy singing.
Not sure.
That shit was scary.
What that?
That guy singing.
I go to the pirate building.
The what?
Is this the pirate building?
I don't know. See, I can't like film unless someone's like in front of me.
You want me to move?
Well, no, I can't. Cause see, everything turns hot.
You gotta have like a little bit of somebody in it.
It's that cannon.
Is there
Cannon.
anybody here?
Looks like
What's
a.
that?
It's like a penis. What? Right there?
Yep.
Not the hang up with the
Yep. Is there anybody here that wants to talk?
You see it?
Oh, is that what you're talking
You don't
about?
see it? It's over here now. Now it's over there. Is that some part of the canal? She looks sweet. Where do you go?
Can you tell me if I'm speaking with anyone today?
You don't see that?
What's
right
that?
there? Huh?
What's that?
Yep, there's
Why? What's that big yellow ball?
her arm.
No, it's not.
No, it's not either.
That's your finger in the way?
No.
The other finger?
Oh. It is.
Yeah.
I thought
big
this was the
yellow
fucking
ball?
camera right here.
That big yellow ball.
I was like, that shit's moving with me. See, I can't like put it in there or else everything turns red.
Yeah, I gotta have like me in it.
Yeah, I gotta have you
After
like.
they left the show.
Oh shit. See, I can't.
Me too.
Hell.
Sounds like my gun. Yeah, I wanted to See, look at this. I take pictures of it, okay? It'll just do this. But sometimes a green box comes up. It's not doing it now. She's not doing it now.
A green box on the whole screen.
No, just in the... I wonder if it's... Because you know how, like, if you take a picture and a box comes up around your face?
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah.
Does it say anything, Sarah? No. Sarah's disgusting.
It doesn't like me.
This thing don't like me either. I can't get shit.
I think they're not here. That's the whole thing. Like,
It's a busy Saturday night. They're probably partying someplace.
That's what we should be doing.
We could have spent a lot of money drinking, huh?
I'm just playing.
Shit, I wish you did have some refreshments in that backpack.
I know.
These are bills.
That's what we should have damn brought.
Is this thing on?
Started to bring the shit again.
Oh, we were thinking about it. Like, should we try to bring some?
I want to go in here.
I want to go
Is there a pirate here?
No pirates? Apparently not for me. How about female pirates?
Yeah, right?
Does anybody have a header?
how many kids did you have?
I think lunch break is over. Back at work.
See, there it's doing it again. Sometimes... Like, you know how if you take a picture with your face? Yeah. Yeah.
How many children did you have?
Crazy sticking our heads in these fences.
How old were you when
I
you
said we
got-
all like crazy sticking our heads in these fences.
Oh, yeah.
Sorry, excuse me.
No idea where you are. Thank you.
Yeah, they had to put me in one of them damn things. I would have tore that shit down.
It's very
Some of that little dip, though.
You're an idiot.
The head thing. Man,
Oh yeah, I would have fucking lost my
look at my
mind
head one too, man. I broke about it.
if you got put in one of those little like things where you put your head there.
Broke my neck and off getting out too.
Yeah, might as well.
Green light on the way.
National Historic Landmark, owned and operated by National Society.
Go around back to the sidewalk.
Like live there?
Live inside the spirit.
I get like mad that people do this.
Oh my god, I'm not fucking new tourist
Yeah,
ass
he
spot
was living in the
downtown.
fucking most touristy spot.
Fucking crazy.
Huh?
That's pretty crazy. Like how fucking rich are we? It's an apartment.
They have fucking window units.
Like the same path to the house over and over again. You're walking.
Yeah.
I've stood in my bedroom and listened to it walk right in front of me and turn. It's like as close as you can. Yeah, peaks and peaks.
Also, you get like I use a pendulum as well. So the pendulum, like I have a little archway that it just kind of sits over. Of course, I have a pendulum board underneath it. Where it just sits in my office. Every once in a while, it'll just start to teeter. There's no AC blowing on it or anything. It's not me moving on the desk. It's just moves on its own. Again, I've tested, my apartment. I don't know how many times. So, no jumpers here. All right. Anything else crazy on the spirit boxes that we're hearing?
I just got 59, which I know you talked about in relation to the
doctor.
The doctor, yeah.
That's actually really awesome. You don't get that number often.
Oh, really?
Yeah. I like to make sure I spit out the numbers because you guys need to know what they are.
And then we also asked her how many kids she had, and it said 3, but
The answer is what?
4?
5.
5. Oh, 5.
Forgot about the one in Cuba. So didn't you get the number 5 over here? Didn't you have it like spelled out?
Oh, yeah.
Yep. So 59.
What? You're not supposed to ask yes or no
59 is good.
questions.
That's
We
good
just
stuff.
talked about that.
So a lot of people miss, like sometimes because they'll say like 105.9. I take 5.9 as 59. It's going to be our smartest game instead of looking at the data. He's got stone, the prime numbers.
I'm waiting on it, but I won't see it.
Pat, are you still recording, buddy? Is it still
Yeah.
going strong? Because I have had some weird anomalies happen here with that particular camera. I do want to play it safe with the thermal imaging, so I'm going to have you stop it now.
Okay.
What I'm going to do is I'm going to start collecting the